Welcome back to the SCIF. I am Matt. That is Stu. We are the Green Beret Life. We got an interesting show for you tonight. I'm going to let Stu talk about it a little bit. A lot going on. Stu and I have been traveling. As you know, last show we were together. I can't believe it's a week. Does that seem like it was a week ago?
It was a long damn week.
Yeah, but it surprised me, actually, that we had the SCIF today. In fact, anyways, what do we got on the docket, Stu?
We've got Antifa causing trouble at the University of Washington, taking over buildings, setting things on fire, just being general nuisance. But it couldn't happen to a more deserving locale. They ask for it, they breed it, they encourage it, and they get to deal with it. There were about 30 people arrested in the well, I'll leave that for the story. The Supreme Court has halted a lower court decision that was blocking Trump's ban on transgender in the military.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being lifted, that ban moves forward, and I don't know if it is they can't join or the ones that are in have to separate. I'm not sure what the particulars of the decision are.
Aren't they non-deployable anyways? And if you were non-deployable in the military, what happened to you?
Well, we can talk about it more on the story, but that's kind of that was kind of the thought process I had. But we'll look at that in a bit. Something that nobody, well, it's just happened, but it's been kind of percolating for a long time, is the tensions and hostility between India and Pakistan. And India has just basically retaliated to areas of Pakistan because of this terrorist attack that took place from people that were staged in Pakistan and killed 25 or 26 people over in India. So India has retaliated. And the thing is, it's something everybody's pointing out. Both of these nation states are nuclear powers.
Yeah, it's hard to believe that Pakistan is nuclear powered, but they're both nuclear powers. India, you would understand. Pakistan. And another point of note, you and I were talking about it before the show, that people don't realize, because everybody thinks all of this Muslim friction started in the Middle East and with Palestine bullshit and all of that, in Israel and all.
Yeah.
It started in Kashmir. In modern times, all of the conflict with Islam and all started right in frickin' Kashmir.
No, was Kashmir was the friction about who owned what land? Was it a land dispute?
It was basically when they split off and Pakistan was formed, right? And it was always disputed land. So if you look at the very tip of up there in India, and that's where Kashmir is. And Kashmir is actually quite large, comparatively speaking, right? It's not a small hunk of land. It's quite large hunk of land. And they have been fighting over this for eons now, for ages. And it ain't going to end anytime soon.
Is it rich in resources, or is it just we want the dirt?
I would imagine it probably is. I mean, Afghanistan is rich in certain resources. You know what I mean? Minerals and stuff like that. They have minerals that in the past may not have been important and today are. I mean, cobalt historically wasn't an important mineral, but now it's super important, right? I don't know what the minerals are up there. I do know it is about land. I mean, look at the fight in Israel over basically
right here. I just looked because I was curious. It's just a region I don't know anything about, but it says, Kashmir holds significant reserves of various minerals, including the sole source of borax and sapphire in India. A lot of water, including major rivers, forests, hydroelectric potential. So yeah, it's a resource diverse and rich area, it seems like. So that's I'm
But
sure part of it.
but originally it's land. It's just land. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So obviously sapphires are something that has been cherished over generations. But
Oh, lithium too. There you go. That's one
yeah,
of the rare earth metals that is in high
wouldn't
demand.
have been important in the past, but is important
Yeah,
today. So
absolutely.
it's funny when you think about that. What other minerals are out there that we don't give a shit about today? But if you could figure that one out, it's like having a
That were
lottery
waste
ticket.
and byproduct that are
Yeah,
usable now.
go buy the land that has some of this, site or whatever the fuck on it.
Right.
That shit that I just made that up. But anyways, but yeah. So that's a pretty important development and what's going on. Everybody saw today where Carney went to visit Trump from Canada, and all this talk in Canada about Alberta seceding, and then you saw that Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and now British Columbia, which is more liberal than those other provinces. They're talking about an alliance. So the what the hell do they call the chancellor? What it was, the chancellor of the province? It's like the governor. Alberta spoke yesterday, and it sounds like they're not doing an official vote on this, but they're going to allow the public to do it. And if they reach a certain number of signatures next year in 2026, then they'll do an official government-sponsored referendum as to whether they're going to secede. There's not a lot of talk from Canada about joining the United States. It would be stupid if they didn't, but the Canadians have it in their brain. They've got TDS up there because Canada's generally more liberal than the United States. That's why, Stu and I have had the conversation for a long time. Do we want all of Canada? And no. But if you could have one, Alberta would be it. That's where Banff is. That's where like 85 to 90% of their oil comes from, right there. I mean, it's just a beautiful part of Canada. And it would benefit the people of Alberta greatly, to become a state of the United States, right? What's funny is, isn't it odd that Trump starts talking about this way back when, and people are going, "Oh, he's crazy, he's nuts." They knew. He's one step ahead all the time. He's not one step; he's several steps ahead. And
Well, it's like the shirt I have, Matt. I've got a shirt that says, "I need new conspiracy theories. All my old ones came true." And it's what every time Trump, says something, it's like, oh my God, like you said, what's he doing? He's a dictator. He can't. And about 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks later, here it comes. Oh, wait, they are talking about this. There is something
to it.
An interest in this idea. It's funny how it just, well, we can't say the phrase we came up with on the ride up on YouTube. On the ride up to Ohio, we'll bring up our slogan for the Democrats.
We can say it. You can say that. Stepping on their dicks, right? Tripping on their dicks to step on rakes. Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. Tripping on their dicks to step on rakes.
That's the Democrat Party right now. They can't get out of their own damn way. But never interrupt your enemy when they're making a mistake.
That Kilmar thing, where now the audio and I think some video of the wife surfaced, basically saying she's got multiple police reports. He wakes her up in the middle of the night to beat the shit out of her. You know what I mean? Going on and on and on and on. And it's to the point now where Hakeem Jeffries is telling Democrats, do not go back down there to El Salvador. Stop any planned trips.
He's a Maryland man.
He's Maryland and father, and now it's pretty much out. The kids aren't his.
The kids aren't even his. Yeah.
So allegedly, right? We got to put that in there. Allegedly, right? So
reportedly, it's been reported that.
Mm-hmm. So this Kilmar Abrego Garcia is a big frickin' rake, and it's planted right in the middle of the DNC's donkey ass face, you know?
And they flew all the way down to El Salvador to step on it.
Yep, exactly. And then we're trying to convince Americans that don't go vacation down there. And I don't know how many people go to vacation in El Salvador anyways, although it probably will become more of a vacation destination considering it's one of the safest countries in the world right now. So
it is now.
Yeah. So
well,
then
they made the decision. If you have the tattoos of the gangs, you're going to jail.
Yeah. Well, another piece of news that we should probably just bring up is they're deciding on the next pope right now. So that'll be interesting.
Are they doing the voting? Have they started voting now, or
No? They've called the session in, and over the next couple of days, you're going to see. Then they'll go through the process with the white smoke and the black smoke and all of that. I know people everywhere are hoping that we get 180 degrees from the last pope. God rest his soul, but I don't think a lot of Catholics were happy with him, and they want a more conservative pope. So they don't want this woke nonsense. It's killing the Catholic Church as well. So hopefully we'll get a good one. There's two that one is black. Can you imagine the first black pope? He's the hardcore conservative, and that's the one that a lot of Catholics are rooting for. And there is another individual, I think his name's Papini. He offered himself up as a hostage to release some of the women and children in October 7th, where Hamas, took all sorts of people and raped and pillaged and maimed, and he offered himself up. So it seems like a pretty cool individual that would do something like that, and deserving to be where he is. So hopefully we get a good one next. We need the Catholic Church needs another John Paul. You know what I mean? John Paul II. We need another one. And this last one really caused a lot of
stress within the church.
Yeah, a lot of friction within the Catholic Church for sure.
Yeah.
So what else we have?
Well, that's the stories we wanted to lead with. Okay. Do you want to bounce off of YouTube over to Rumble?
Well, why should we bounce off of YouTube?
Well, the word is they kind of suck a little bit.
YouTube sucks. It's so funny. It's so funny because I'm watching. There was a guy I used to do off the grid stuff. He's from out on the East Coast, and it was Boss of the Swamp is what it used to be called, right? And he was one of the first guys doing this off-grid type stuff because he had a cabin out in the middle of the woods with his dog. He had a border collie, and the dog was Frankie, right? And I just saw a video of him today saying, full circle, this is my last YouTube video, right? And I'm like, right? So I watched it, and I haven't watched it in a few years, right? And he's basically saying everything's been demonetized. What could you do? Why would YouTube be demonetizing a dude who's living off grid, showing how to garden and what? And how to live off the land? What could you do? Why would they demonetize him? So he's gone complete Patreon, and he says YouTube sucks. And he's like, I'm done. And he says, you got to roll with the changes. And he's like, I'm rolling right off this platform. He says, all of the hours and the time and putting it in to have everything demonetized. And he's got quite a bit of a following, So he's like, I just don't care anymore. And I gave a lot of good tips over the years for free and made free content. And this organization has just made it so uncomfortable to be on here anymore that I just don't want to be on here anymore. So And, you know, the whole thing with Rumble doesn't have the numbers yet. It's growing and it's the next best thing. It doesn't quite have the numbers yet. And what I really wish people would do, you know, and I'm not saying Rumble's perfect. There's something goofy with Rumble on the ads. Do you notice this? So if you watch like Salty Cracker's stream, right? And you're just watching. So it's like on Sunday night, he has a stream, you're watching it, an ad comes on, you press skip the ad when it pops up, right? And then the stream freezes, right? And if anybody else knows this out here, I mean, I can't be the only, I've heard other people say it does the same thing. The stream freezes. And you have to go and recycle the page and try to find where you were at before. And don't dare do it if another ad comes on. And even then, sometimes the ads will go on, and at the end of the ads, the stream will freeze. You know, you can't restart it. You have to go and start from the beginning all over again.
Hey, Matt, we've got, I'm getting feedback when you're in. We've got Joshua George on YouTube, and he posted up, he said, Google needs to be bought out by Rumble. I tried to reply, that would be nice. I got a notification. YouTube rejected your comment. This usually means they think it's spam. Try changing it a bit. And I said, would be nice if that happened. YouTube rejected your comment.
Oh, are you kidding me? Are you kidding? This is why YouTube sucks. This is why YouTube sucks. It's funny because I commented on somebody's video before. It was something about the Canadian stuff, right? And I made a comment on there, and you could see, you know, when YouTube is getting ready to shit can your comment, because if you try to make an edit or anything to it, it won't allow you to do it, and then it disappears and goes away, right? So you knew that was happening, and benign comments that they just remove. I mean, it's insane. YouTube sucks. Google sucks. Now, I know they were going to be partially broken up because I think the browser is going to have to be sold. Is that correct? Isn't
I know they're looking at something, but I don't know what they're.
It was in court, and it was pretty much adjudicated. They're going to have to break up certain parts of Google. But boy, I think they had to shit can the whole thing and push it all four corners. You know,
they just rejected my hopefully that happens comment. So the same comment worded 4 different ways, rejected.
Yeah, it is. Boy, oh boy, boy, oh boy.
Hey, Joshua George, there's the link in the description below to the Rumble channel. So come over there and join us for the rest of the show. We're going to move off of YouTube here, specifically because of reasons like this.
Yeah, well, it's funny, Joshua, because we rant on this every week. Every week we rant about this, and we go on our little Google sucks. You know, they don't give a shit about free speech, how they've taken money from the government and have no right to be acting. They lose we're a private corporation at that stage. That little umbrella that protects them. It's bullshit. And the whole outfit is bullshit. And in order to make big change, anybody who's been dicked with by YouTube and Google, and that goes from fishing channels to outdoor channels to gun channels to political channels to any of it, you have to make a separate channel over on Rumble. And that's the only way we're going to get rid of this bullshit. It's the only way you're going to do it. And then you have to try to watch the content. And I know it's a pain in the ass. And boy, YouTube is so easy. It's so easy to go on there. And I still use YouTube. I can rant about it, and I seem kind of like a hypocrite, but I still use YouTube. But people who make content for YouTube need to go and start making content on Rumble, or just pushing it out. Stay on both and try to push a bunch of your audience from YouTube. And that's what our purpose is here, even though we have a tiny audience. We're trying to push as many people over to Rumble as possible. So with that being said, we're about to pop smoke. We got a link below, right, Stu? So anybody who wants to join us over there, we'd love to have you over there and be part of the conversation. You sound like our type of guy. let's shit can this bullshit platform and go on over to Rumble.
Well, I remember Joshua. He's been on the posted on the YouTube comments before, and he's followed us over to Rumble. I remember him being on a while back.
Okay.
Yeah, he was on. He says he's on Rumble, so he'll probably follow us over there and join the lunacy on the other side.
Sweet. Thank you, dude. We appreciate it.
But I'm going to go ahead and move us from